You're listening to Thursday Night Tailgate, where NFL legends live on, with Chris Mascaro and Bob Lasseri. Available on TuneIn and Podbean. Now, back to Chris and Bob.
Just listen.
All right, now back with us and making his fifth appearance on the Kyvan Foods guest line is former Steelers Pro Bowl linebacker Greg Lloyd. Let me remind you about Greg's background. He's from Miami, Florida, played his college ball at Fort Valley State in South Georgia, where he was a three-time All-Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference selection, a three-time team defensive MVP, and as a senior, he was the Conference Player of the Year and a first-team Sheridan All-American. He was a sixth-round draft pick by the Steelers in 1987, played in the league from 87 to 98, all in Pittsburgh, except his last season in Carolina. He was selected to 5 straight Pro Bowls from 1992 to 1996. He was the AFC Defensive Player of the Year in 1994. He's a member of the Steelers' all-time team, and we are honored that he is back with us again tonight here on Thursday Night Tailgate. Hey, Greg, Chris, and Bob, thanks for coming back on the show.
Greg. Gentlemen, thank you for having me. How's everybody?
Oh, fantastic. Great. Thank you, Greg. So, Greg, as you know, I'm a big Steelers fan. I got my Greg Lloyd jersey on right now. I need your help. What's going on with the Steelers defense, and why can't we stop the run anymore?
Man, I can't. I tell you what, I watched some of the game, and like I said, I think you guys heard me say this before. Once I started watching, and they started doing crazy stuff, and it's like, okay, well, this is not going to turn out good. And I have to turn the TV. So I come back and I watch later. I have to watch SportsCenter to see if they won or lost. But I just think it's simple right now. You know, I think I talked to Cardinal Lake, you know, about this last game and like, hey, what happened? And he just gave me 2 simple words. It's just like sloppy play. And, you know, from what I saw, I never saw 92 hit the field. I never saw number 92 get on the field. Every time James Harrison comes into the game, I mean, people have to be concerned with him. And, you know, I know he may be 39 years old, but, you know, the guy, you know, he still makes a difference. And, you know, people are still, you know, watching out for him when he gets on the field. I just don't see what I don't see in this young group of guys. I don't see leadership. I think that, you know, it may be, you know, I'm not there, so it may be, but I don't see that one guy when things are going in disarray, going the other direction, gathering guys and saying, hey, let's get it done. Coaches can do that all they want to, but guess what coaches are when the play starts? Stand on the sideline. So I think there has to emerge a leader amongst his defense, maybe 2, to say, you know, hey, listen, you know, here we are. And I kept watching, you know, I saw some of the Chicago game, and it's brutal to win in Chicago. You know, I have lost some crazy games in Chicago. I think one year, the year Singletary was retired, we went in there and it was like we woke up the next day like, what happened? You know, they ripped us a new, you know, tail end. But it's like going to Chicago. I'm watching it and I'm going, you can't let Chicago keep hanging in here. You keep letting Chicago hang in there, they're gonna beat you. And then of course that's the outcome of the game. The difference in, you know, the other games, I just can't say. I mean, you know, for defense, I think Pittsburgh is, you know, like I said, I just think that they're not who they were last year. They don't have a you know, sometimes defense come out and, you know, they define themselves. We're gonna stop the run. We're gonna be run stoppers. We're gonna be, you know, you're not gonna pass against. I don't think Pittsburgh has an identity yet, you know, as far as that's concerned. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, like you say, you can toss a coin up in the air and go, who's gonna, you know, who's gonna show up. So it's kind of difficult. It's kind of hard to watch, you know, really. But, you know, like you say, you bleed black and gold, man. So you want them to win, and when they don't, you go, and when they do, you go, okay, great, you know, kind of thing. So I'm kind of up in arms about it. So I don't know if it's a fix, or if it's a coaching thing, or it's a playing guys out of position thing, or, you know, not, you know, players just not, you know, sometimes it comes down to some players just not good enough. You know, I mean, you know, you can factor that in there. They may be NFL players, but they just may not be good enough, you know, against some of the teams that they're getting, you know, beat by. This game last week was embarrassing. It was totally embarrassing.
Yeah, you know, what's hard to watch is, you know, when you know they're going to run the ball. I mean, everyone knows they're going to run. I mean, you know, when you get down to one of the last drives, you know Jacksonville is just going to run the ball on every play. And they ran the ball on every play, and they kept executing, and they marched all the way down the field. And it's, you know, guys, you know they're going to run the ball. How do you let them get 10, 12 yards at a clip? Well, it's just, it's mind-boggling.
Absolutely. And that's the thing I'm saying. At some point, Yeah, you may still lose the game, but at some point, there's some dignity and integrity that you got to have when you walk off of that field and say, you know what, they won the game, but man, we kept sticking them. When we hung in there, we had opportunity. I mean, this never happens, and I don't see it. I don't see it in the play. I don't see it in the hurry up on the field, or hurry up after the field, hurry up 2 plays, guys. 3, 4, 5. One of the things that I loved about when we played, when we had Dick LeBeau and Marvin Lewis and Dom Capers, one of the things that they stressed. If one guy made a tackle and he was the only guy making that tackle, that's a problem. That's a problem. If you look around in the league now, when you see great defenses that are playing, you see 3, 4, 5, 6 guys around the play, making the ball, getting their hands on that play. The Steelers aren't doing that. Now, I don't know if that's something that they can't practice. I don't know. I mean, with the rules and things being different, but it's attitude. It's not a something you go out and tell little league guys to do. It's attitude, and if you ain't got that attitude, man, you can't. Like I say, I'll play like this. When I played for Pittsburgh, if you didn't have my attitude, if you didn't come out and feel my attitude, you're not gonna like me. Period. And that was the deal. That was the deal. You come out here with this attitude, with a chip on your shoulder, ready to play. We hitting anything that moves that don't have the same color jersey we got on, and we're gonna do it till the whistle blows. That's defense. And if you don't have that mentality, if you're not ready to play like that, man, get a ticket and get in the stands. Because that style of football they're playing right now, I mean, for lack of a better word, they can call me out there, but it sucks. It hurts to just sit and watch it because it's the same defense we ran almost 20 years ago.
And Greg, when you guys went to the Super Bowl in '95, that season, you guys started out that season 3-4. What did you guys do to regroup and then propel yourself to go on to win 8 games in a row, get in the playoffs? What did you guys do when you were 3-4 to turn things around?
Well, I'll be honest with you. If you call the following year, we should have been in the Super Bowl that year. We lost to San Diego, So we got a whole summer, to sit around and, think about, what took place and what should have took place. But the thing about it is gut check. You call guys in, we have meetings or whatever, but you call guys in, and you just, you have these, we had team meetings where coaches weren't allowed, and you hear about this stuff. But then we also had little team socials away from the stadium where, you actually get to know a guy, and I've stressed this, and, maybe if I'm repeating myself, then I apologize. But sometimes playing with the guy, you still don't get to know the guy, if you know what I mean. I mean, you may work with some people and you say hey to them every day, but you really don't know them because you haven't spent any time with them. And so what we had to do is we had to break those barriers down. And so we had to find a place just for the players to go hang out at, and sit down and, let's play some cards and we talk about. But what we had to do is we had to find out where my warriors are, where my players are, who are the guys here who really want to not just be on a football team and say I play professional football, but who want to be champions. And that's what we did. And so what we started doing, we started holding each other accountable. We started doing it in practice. We would find ourselves for a little bit of, what we call MAs, is a missed assignment, MEs, a mental error, and things of that. And the same things we get graded on, in the game. But we would do it ourselves. And that made it even more. When one of your players hold you accountable and say that, hey, man, you didn't do this, you're more apt to want to get it right than when a coach said, because these are the guys that you're out there on the field with. I don't know if they're doing that. I don't know if that's something they need to do. But again, you got a lot of young guys that are out there on this defense right now, and from what I'm seeing, and I don't know, but from what I'm seeing, I heard you guys talking about Antonio, Brown. He's being this me guy, want to get the ball and stuff like that. Well, that's typical wide receiver. We accept that. But on defense, you can't be selfish. There's nothing to be selfish about. Hey, listen, man, if you make the tackle here, I'll come hold him up till I get there. If I make the tackle, I'm going to hold him up till you get there. There's nothing about being selfish. Who cares? You just want to make the play. We want to get off the field in 3 and be done. I don't see it happen. I don't see the urgency. I don't see, hey, football, Pittsburgh Steelers style of football where we're going to hit you in your mouth. We're going to stop the run. We're going to hit you in your mouth. We're going to make you one-dimensional, and then here we come. Stop it. It hasn't happened. So maybe that's something that they have to do. Maybe that's something they have to go in the dark room or, I don't know, feel somewhere by themselves and get done. But right now, I mean, it is embarrassing to watch both sides of the ball for Pittsburgh.
Bob, questions for Greg?
Greg, I want to talk about your entrance into the pro game, and not that you needed any more incentive because of the pride and the attitude you brought into the game. But being a 6th-round draft pick, it blows my mind that there could have been 150 players better than you. Did you ever, Greg, use that as an incentive, or it was just the way it is? Fort Valley State probably not being what you would call a football factory.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna answer your question like this. Did I use it as a chip on my shoulder? Absolutely. Reason why? All the accolades that you guys said before I came on there, you can go back and look at that draft and look at all the guys who got drafted before me as a linebacker. None had it. But what they did have, they had Alabama, they had Clemson, they had all that. But here's the deal. We're all going, it's like we're all getting drafted and going to the same army. We're all going to the same army. We're all going to be shooting the same M16. We're all going to be wearing the same color green. So what's going to make this guy different than me? If I'm shooting in mine, all get in the hole and all his get, in the bullseye and all mine gets in the bullseye, what's the difference of where we come from? That actually is what our skill is. And so, yeah, it makes a difference. But what you have to do to kind of dispel that myth that, black college football is not this and not that, is that you got to go out and you got to play. You got to play. You can't go out there and be, it's almost, in the community that I grew up in, it was almost, you got to make the A. You can't make the B, you got to make the A. When the other kid's making the B, you got to make the A. And, I never understood why. Why? But then as I got older, I kind of, I got it. So when I come into the league, I'm coming in, against guys that, Pitt, Penn State, Colorado, you name them. I mean, they're all the big, but I'm looking around and I'm watching and I'm going, these guys aren't that very good. I mean, what are they, what did these people that were writing this stuff, what did they see that I'm standing right next to this guy don't see? So, right away you start comparing yourself. Then when the pads go on, you go, oh, he is garbage. I can use that word. I'm not calling anybody's name. But that was my term in my head. I was going, he's garbage. So now that mentality got to go, oh, I got to make him quit. I'm going to make him quit today. I'm going to show them just all this hype they got about this guy. I'm going to make him quit. So that was my mentality, and I carried that mentality for 12 seasons. And it was like every time, we got a guy, we got this running back. Oh, this guy, he's this. Oh, they got this big tackle you're going to be going in. And it's like, okay, I read up on, watch film on it. I'm going, I don't see what they keep saying. I know coaches are trying to, play mind games with us, but I'm going, I don't see what they saying, and stuff like that. But, every once and again, you run into an Anthony Munoz. Every once and again, you run into a Jonathan Ogden. But for the most of it, it's like these guys are not that good. So for me, I took it personal, and it was like, I'm going to practice harder. I'm going to stay after practice. I'm going to be out there longer. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to outwork everybody on my team. So I become the standard, and it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. When you want to do something, it's not that hard. You got to become the standard. You can't sit back. Sometimes there's a time to follow, but there's also a time to lead. Great leaders were once great followers. So I had to watch guys like Robin Cole and Mike Merriweather, and Brian Hinker, watch how they practice and things they did. But then I had to one-up them now. Here's what they're doing, but I got to do something different to stay around. So that was it for me. And I just carried that over next year. I mean, hey, listen, they're drafting guys in my position, first-round draft choice next year, and guys are calling me, asking me, girl, you think? I'm like, hey, listen, he's going to have to be a heck of a player if he's going to take my spot. See, I know what I'm doing right now. It's that stuff that I'm doing that you can't see, not that stuff that's happening out there on the practice field in front of the camera. It's that stuff that I'm doing that you can't see, what's going to propel me to the next level. And these guys aren't doing that. That's on them. So that's how I carried myself. And so I knew from day one, I'm giving you everything in my tank. So you're going to have to tell me in practice, Greg, slow down. Greg, those are our players. Greg, quit hitting our players. Greg, and I'm going to keep doing that until you take me out of practice. Now, I had days out there, numerous days in practice where they took me out of practice. Matter of fact, not just me. After a while, they took a whole defense. Took a whole defense out of practice. Had to put second defense in there because we tipped off at the offense for stuff they had did the previous week. So that was kind of the mentality we had. And it just carried right on over into the game. But you got to be that kind of, that person. And when it's all said and done, when you walk away from the field, you got to be, hey, man, how's it going? And they go, that's not the same guy that's playing football. Yeah, that's how it's got to be. You got to wear that hat. So that's what makes us kind of crazy in a sense and mysterious and kind of like you don't know what you're going to get, kind of thing. But, hey, listen, play football on Sunday. We play practice during the week. But listen, man, we all, we're fathers, we're husbands, we're dads, we're brothers, we're sisters, we're deacons in the church, we're pastors. All that stuff happens. But Sunday, I'm giving you everything I got in my tank. Win or lose. And that's how you have to be. So that's how I took it. And so, from that point on, hopefully it opened a lot of doors to guys coming behind me that came from schools like that. And that's how, that's what I loved about it, man. And I've seen it happen, but, wouldn't change a thing. Wouldn't want to go to any other college. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it twice on Sundays, man. Enjoyed it.
And that leads me to my next question, Greg. I mean, with all the intensity and physicality you guys brought to the table every week, and I ask this often to all our guests, that leads me to how you spent your off seasons. And you're talking about outworking the opponent and everything. You probably had to give your body some time off. But what were your off seasons like physically?
Well, I put it like this. Coming from like my first 2 years, I hurt my knee. I was out. I shouldn't even been playing football. But just by my faith and just the grace of God, He allowed me to play, 11 seasons. I mean, 12 seasons of football. I actually, if you think about it, really, it's only 10 because the first 2 seasons I didn't even play. But when you think about that, man, I decided that I got into martial arts. So when I started going to Pro Bowl, come out of Pro Bowl in February, and the end of February, we would, kids and I would go up to Disney World or something like that. Just, some family time. But I mean, I'm talking 2 weeks later, you started running. But see, I was in martial arts. So I was doing martial arts every day. I wasn't just doing, just resting, if I was stretching or hitting the bag or, even doing forms. You can do forms so strong that you can get tired. So that's what I was doing. And so, on my strong days, I would go do my workout that I had do football. Then I would go, do martial arts and probably even play basketball and then come back and still do, another workout. But again, those were things that I did that I knew I had to do to make me better, as opposed to here's what the regimen is the coach gave us, and I'm just going to do that. It's kind of like the kid that's, capable of making the A, but he's only going to make the C because that's just enough to get him by, just enough to keep my scholarship. Never that guy. You can never be that guy. I don't even want to play with guys like that. I don't even want to be associated with guys like that today. But the thing about it is that you have to be smarter. And, like you hear guys say, I'm gonna work smart and I'm not gonna work hard. But in football, man, you got to be able to do both. You got to do that hard grinding stuff. But when the season starts, that's when the smarts come in. You got to do smart stuff. You got to play smart. Still got to keep your body in shape. But that's what I did. I don't think that I really took a month off or some time off. It was always something. It was always something physical. Either I'm getting kicked or I'm kicking somebody, or I'm lifting some weights, or weights are kicking my rear end. I'm out running the golf course, running the hills on the golf course, running up and down the road, putting all black stuff on here in Georgia at 12 o'clock in summertime and running 2.5 miles, around probably people look at me like I'm crazy. You got to make that sacrifice. So when you now go out to training camp and it's humid out there and everybody's looking and cramping and stuff and you're laughing and you're going, yep, they didn't do what I did, but you encourage them, and you can tell guys what you do. You can tell guys, hey, here's what I do in the off season. But give you that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. They got to be willing to do it. So if you're not willing to do what I do, then you're not going to have what I have later on. And that's the deal. I wanted to be the best that ever came through Pittsburgh. I knew about the Lamberts. I knew about the Hammers. But I wanted to set another standard, and that was just me. I mean, like I say, and I think the guys around me understood that. And I think, again, if you talk to most of my teammates, they'll tell you, Greg going to do 2 things to you. He going to either tick you off or he going to motivate you. That was me. I call guys. If you're not doing your job, I'm going to call you out. Because, you're going to get me hurt or you're going to get the team hurt. And you don't see enough of that anymore. I mean, there's a way to do it. There's a tactful way to do it. Everybody's not the same. Everybody's not, you can't get every guy face and screaming and things of that nature. Some guys, you got to come on and say, hey, man, you better than that. I seen you. You better than that, man. You didn't give me everything you got there. Or some guys, you got to get to them. Some guys, you got to get in there. Like, you do that one more time, and you go, me and you go, you're gonna see me in the locker room, kind of thing. And so you got to know how to do that. But see, I don't think that the league now has that. I don't even think that you can do that. It may be hazing or whatever it is. But hey, listen, man. These are my teammates. This is my house, and this is, you got to take it like this. This is my team. This is my brothers, and this is my family for 6 months. And hey, whatever goes on in here, man, we got to make it right. If this thing ain't right, we got to find a way to make it right. If it means that we got to knuckle up, we'll knuckle up. If it means that we got to get out here and do some spitting and grinding, we'll do that. But whatever we got to do to get this thing right, let's get it right. And what happens here stays right here. Nobody needs to know what happened. All they need to know is that enjoy the win. That's all they need to know. And I don't know if there's enough people doing that. Those are the kind of things that we did.
Greg, before we let you go, we know you're not a social media guy, but is there some place are you going to be somewhere where our listeners and people around the city of Atlanta can see you, talk to you? Are you going to be anywhere?
Next November, I think we've got an NFL alumni. We have an alumni golf tournament in Lake Lanier. I think it's November the 6th. So, people come on out. We got a bunch of celebrities, bunch of old retired guys. I'm one of the old retired guys now. So a bunch of the older retired guys. When I say older, I'm not talking myself. But it's a bunch of the older retired guys that are, going to be out there and things of that nature. But, I'm low key, man. Right now, I'm hunting. I'm supposed to be on the road on a hunting trip right now. And I told my wife, I said, I got that show tonight. I'm not going to leave till in the morning, because I have to do that. But I'm a hunter, man. I kind of keep to myself. And, I do a lot of hunting trips and things of that nature. And I just have a beautiful wife who allows me to get out there, and do that. And, like I said, I think you guys talk about social media. I'm just going to say that my wife and I are on the board. And I hear, Colin say this earlier. We're on the board for a charity here in Atlanta called Crosswalks Ministries and outreach program. And basically, you're taking a bunch of kids in Henry County who have, let's say they missed the mark and things of that nature, and they've had, got a background, got a record, and basically the courts have basically sentenced them to us for at least 3 years, and we're turning kids' lives around. That's what we're doing. And we're doing it, not only through the Word of God, but also just through just being kind. You'd be amazed at some kids who have never actually sat down and had a meal at a kitchen table. Kids will tell you that they've never had sat down at a dinner table and had a lunch, dinner, or anything as a family. So that's what we're doing, instilling that in these kids and letting them know that, kind of insert them back into society, let them know that, God has a bigger plan for them and things of that nature. So that's what we do. And that's what we're doing. So, if you guys can, put that out there, that's what it is. But like I said, I'm not a whatever they call it. I could even say Instagrammer or whatever that stuff is. I don't do it. My daughters and them, they think that I'm the old Apple computer. I'm that old Apple computer, man. So I'm like, I still write stuff down. And things of that nature. But it works for me. But, at the end of the day, like you say, we just try to make everybody around us better. Every person that we come in touch with, we just hope that we can impute something in their lives that's good, that's positive. And that's what we're doing.
That's great stuff, Greg. And, so many more things we want to get into with you and get your insights on. I hope you'll come back again soon. We always have such a great time when you're a part of the show. Man. Thanks for being here tonight.
Big time. And you guys didn't ask me about this thing, but I'm going to tell you like this. Kansas City has a thing about playing Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't know if you recall last year. You recall last year when Kansas City came to Pittsburgh, what the deal was?
Right.
Look it up. Look it up after the show's over with. Look it up. It was Kevin Green. I gave Kevin Green Hall of Fame ring at that game. I think it was a Monday night game. It was a blowout. So Pittsburgh going there, Kansas City has a chance to get revenge, but I don't think they will. I hope you're
Pittsburgh
right. Has Kansas City's number. So I'm going to say that so that you can enjoy the rest of your week and not worry about Ben Roethlisberger and all those guys. And if I have to fly to Pittsburgh tomorrow to whisper in his ear, we'll get it done.
I appreciate it. I hope you will, Greg. We could use the help.
I know
Take care. Thanks again for being a part of the show. We look forward to catching up with you again real soon.
Be well,
All right,
Greg.
gentlemen. You guys take care, man. Be blessed. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Greg. That's former Steelers Pro Bowl linebacker Greg Lloyd. I love the intensity that Greg still has, Bob. I'm ready to go hit somebody, for crying out loud. Listening to how motivational Greg is. I love that guy.
I'll just leave it at this. I want him on my team. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. I want him back on my team.